Sorry, can you stop?
Looks like, but its text line looks like Python and feels like this and runs like C or Fortran. And it also supports the UTF-8 encoding, so you can using Chinese, Korean, or even the emoji. So for its history, the work on Julia was started in 2009 by a group of people in MIT, and it's keep updating from August 2014, from version 0.3 to version 0.2 to version 1 in August 2018. And it also uses multiple dispatch. It means it has a more strict requirements for its parameters. And for the running speed, we use the benchmark codes to test the performance of identical algorithm implemented in each language. Here, for example, the Fibonacci benchmarks all use the same inefficient recursive algorithms, and the Python benchmarks use the same for loop. For the speed of those tasks, we can see the Julia has a similar speed to C here, and while the R and Python needs time nearly 10 times more than that. And for this topic, we choose the Juno IDE based on the Autumn, and as you can see, the working environment is pretty transparent, and here's a toolbar which you can run your codes or debugging here. And next, we're talking about the syntax.
So now we talk about, like, we're gonna introduction some way to how to use the Julia. So for example, the first one, if we set x equal to 10 in the first one, then in the second time you use x, you don't have to set the number again. The system will automatically remember these things. So for this part, mostly like one line of the Julia will be one sentence. Then, but if you use for this one, you can put two sentences in the same line. That's how Julia works. So this one is talk about some imagination numbers. For Julia, you can use this real, that will tell me the real number of this part. This is image, can tell you the imagination number part. And conjugate for this one, you just use C, O, and J. That will be the way to use them. For here, that's how, there's one simple examples to compare with Python and C. You set y equal to 10, well, you can just compare both numbers used this way. If you use Python, you have to put like this. If you use C, you have to put it like this. So Julia is more like human being words, like easy to understand. This one is we set a simple database here and try to do the F test. Then we can see the F value here and P value here. So the code is not very hard to understand compared with Python. It's very easy to use.
Then I will talk about some more complicated things.
we use Julia to do the convex optimization. And this is the item. This is the item. We can see that it just looks like the R console, the R Studio. Here we can see the data that we have saved, and here's the console here. In Julia is called REPL, and this is the space that we write our code. And you can see that if we use Juno and Atom, it will mark all the functions that we have, and also you use one that we have before. Yeah, this. You can see that it has this red button. Actually, it means that we have defined this variable, but we have not used it yet. And then actually most of this syntax just like R, so you can see that in the, is it to the right? In the convex just like variable, this function is just nearly the same as R. And then teacher gave us some reference about the interface between the Julia and R. I will introduce them separately, and they have some different things. The first is the Julia call. Actually, it's an R package and we use it in R. And we can see that if we have this library, and we also need to set up the position of our Julia PC, and then we can use some Julia functions, like the first one. It just has Julia command, and the command is a equals to square root 2, and then Julia evaluation of a, and it will show the square root of 2. This is very simple because we just need to use Julia functions here, but not that meaningful, not that useful. And then this is XR Julia. XR Julia is totally different with the Julia call, because the Julia call actually embeds the Julia functions into R, but XR Julia, it's use JSON to put the R data to the Julia data and to have the resultant back to R. The disadvantage of XR Julia is that you can see that we have the Julia 1.0 in on August and just this year, but the XR Julia was developed based on the Julia 0.6. So in this point, we cannot set the Julia position in the R console, but we have to use bash and to manually to put our Julia into the bin that the XR Julia require us to do. And also, this does not work very well here, because if you try sometimes, you can see that if you try find Julia, even though you have put it in the right path, it cannot find the Julia function. And these are the interface that I recommend here. They are based on the Julia. The first is just use REPL, and we just need to use the dollar sign, the US dollar sign, and we can transfer the Julia console to our console. Just like this. We just need to use the dollar sign, and here it became the R console here. And we can use all the R functions that we need. And you just type the backspace, it will put you back to the REPL, and you can use the Julia functions. This is the thing I would recommend here. And the next is the rput and rget macro. We know that the Julia is a meta programming language, so it can use the macro. And macro is just like the things in the Visual Basic that you can use something and it can generate the language itself. And here we can use rput and rget to put the Julia things into the and also to get the R things from to get R data to Julia, just like this. In this we define a variable called C and give it to value to 1, and in Julia, and we use the R call to put it in the R console, and you can see that if we just type C, it can find nothing. And if we use the output C, and then we back to R, we can have the result here. And also, if we define the D in the R, and the Julia cannot get it, but use RGet, it can get it. So this is a very convenient. And then it's the R code macro. This macro just enable us to use many R functions in the Julia. Just like this, we use Julia to have an array, and then we can use the R function t-text here to do the t-text in Julia. And also R call. But the disadvantage is the R call is that the result we have is an R object, and we have to use R import here to import the data to Julia. So we can see that we have many interface between the R and Julia now, but in my opinion, the things in Julia is better than things that we have in R.